Okay. Is it loading? Yes, it is. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Let me come back to my Zoom. Do I see you on LinkedIn? Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Sudha Jamthe, and this is Sudha Live. And I'm in a new place. I'm a technology futurist based out of Silicon Valley. And this month, Sudha Live, I'm actually talking to you from LA, Los Angeles. And you can see the beautiful hills behind me right here. And today's topic, I tried to pick a topic. Sudha Live is about answering your questions, especially my students from LinkedIn, as you're taking courses on Gen AI or AI using no code or AI for connected products. I want to answer your questions. I want to help you apply the learning and move on and do bigger, better things. And so that's what I do with the live. So I'm going to have some opportunities. I'm going to tell you the latest, greatest in the Gen AI. Agent AI is a new topic. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit on the latest, greatest there. I'm going to share some jobs. But the theme of today is Agent AI because everybody's talking about Agent AI. And there's a lot of questions. What can Agent AI really do for us? And of all the things we are hearing, what is hype, what is real? So the way I'm going to do that is I have these opportunities lined up. I'm going to share them, but I'm going to answer your questions first. So this is being streamed on LinkedIn and YouTube. And my student community is at Business School of AI on LinkedIn. So if you're a new student of mine or you're a past student and did not know what is this Business School of AI, join Business School of AI on LinkedIn, and you'll get my newsletter. You'll get all the opportunities that I'm sharing here, even the recording from Weekly Wednesday, which is our weekly speaker series. Everything will be there. So and you get to meet other students if you want to, network. If you want to do projects and do stuff, you also have that opportunity. Otherwise, you just follow along and you'll get all the opportunities. Okay. So Business School of AI on LinkedIn is what this is. And let me see who's here on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, if you feel like you can, ask questions, you can introduce yourself. What I'm looking for is to answer your questions. So talk to me. Tell me whether you've used Agent AI, whether you're trying to do something with the Agent AI in your companies, in your jobs, in your careers, right? If you feel like you can share more on a comment here, and I will come back, and I'm not going to look at the comments on YouTube. I'm going to look at it only on LinkedIn. But if you don't feel like being very social, and it's Friday evening here for me, I don't know where you're joining from in the world, given time zones. It's evening for me, 6 o'clock here in California. So I'm guessing, if you're in Europe, it's too late. And, maybe if you're up, then I don't know why you're up. But maybe it's early morning for you in Asia, and, into your weekend, you're joining me. So either way, I'm very grateful for anybody who's showing up so we can have a fun conversation. So what I would suggest is you can just answer just by, one of the emojis at the bottom and say yes or no, for starters, right? Then you feel like asking questions, I'm here for you. So my first question is, are you working with Agent AI? Are you trying to build anything with Agent AI in your job, in your careers, even pet projects you're doing? Are you doing something real with Agent AI? Are you trying to do something with Agent AI? It's yes or no question. Okay. And I believe in LinkedIn, for me to see the live, your comments, I see you as a number here. I see the number of people showing up, but I don't see the actual comments till I refresh. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Awesome. And thank you for all of you who, shared your answer. So the other question I have for you is, for those of you who didn't answer and send me an emoji saying you're working on business AI or trying to do something with not business AI, with Agent AI, are you seeing a lot of stuff about Agent AI out there? Do you think it's a hype? Do you think it's real or not? I had somebody actually ask me these questions about Agent AI, Gen AI, and general AI, whether it's a hype. So the question to you is Agent AI a hype, or are you feeling it's a hype because of the stuff that you're hearing all around you? Again, it's a yes or no question. Thank you for the new people who joined in. So this is Sudha Live, and today's topic is Agent AI, and I'm going to answer your questions, and I'm going to demystify general foundational knowledge about Agent AI and how you can do something with it. But my first question was, are you working with Agent AI? Yes or no? If you feel like you can answer, give more details, and I'm here to answer your questions. And let me add this comment here. For those of you, my student community is at Business School of AI on LinkedIn. So feel free to join. Okay. So second question I've asked is Agent AI looking like it's hype? Are you seeing too much stuff that looks like it's hype? And let me give you an example. I am not owned by any brand. I try to be very agnostic. I get very excited about greatest in technology, try to demystify that for my students, but I try to be very brand agnostic, or, don't get, promote any company. I don't work for any particular company or anything. I'm an independent technology futurist. So I'm not going to name companies, but there is a lot of stuff coming from various different technology companies, tools, technologies, platforms, APIs to build using Agent AI. A lot of it is developer tools. My specialty is to serve you to understand the foundation of exponential technologies and figure out how you can put that to work for you, for your job or career. Or, in a company you're trying to do this, or you're going to go create a startup, whatever you want to do. I like to demystify the tech, but I'm not here to just explain English version of tech. I want you to think, apply what you already know as your knowledge, and figure out, okay, how can I put this to work for me? How does this work for my company, for my industry, or for a potential problem that I would like to solve? Does this make sense? I want you to do that, right? So that's what we are going to do here. Okay, so the reason why it looks like a hype is because let's take a step back, right? Definition of Agent AI. You hear about it, everyone talking about it, and they say, oh, Agent AI is here to automate AI. And right from the beginning, when AI has been brought into the enterprise and, try to create automations in manufacturing and stuff, there has been a lot of fear about, why is AI automating things? Is it going to take our jobs? And I can tell you, at least the real AI that has any kind of potential to do something, looking at our data to do something useful, cannot replicate our jobs. It can replicate manual jobs. So a lot of automation has begun in manufacturing, right? But a lot of decision has to be made on what kind of workflow do you have, what kind of processes do you already have that you have honed over years or decades that make sense for your business. That business acumen is with you, whatever your job or your title, your level of coding, whatever industry you're in, you bring that knowledge. That's your business experience over many, many decades. AI cannot translate that. So Agent AI, when they say Agent AI is going to automate, that definition is incorrect. So what is the definition of Agent AI? First of all, why do we need Agent AI? We'll get to the second part. Okay, first I'm going to give you the definition. Agent AI is about automating AI, but not generally automating anything and everything with AI. And AI means many things, right? AI has become a common word for a lot of complex new technologies. So machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, NLP, that is natural language processing, voice to text, text to voice, a whole bunch of other technologies have all been put together under the AI umbrella. Computer vision, I don't know if I listed computer vision in the beginning of the list. So all of that is considered AI. So Agent AI is about automating LLMs, or large language models, the ones with which you do chats, right? Like ChatGPT. Automating LLMs using the reasoning power of LLM. That's very, very important. And I'm going to stop here and see if you have questions about it. Even if you're wondering, what does LLM means and what does reasoning of LLM means? Is it doing math by doing reasoning? It's not. Okay. But let me see if you have questions. And as I said in the beginning, if you have questions, you can ask any questions. If you're trying to do something with Agent AI in your work, or you're hearing some hype, or you've read an article of what it can do, talk to me, okay? Because I'm here to demystify it. And the end goal of this session, at least this Sudha Live, is for you to walk out with an understanding of what is Agent AI, what is it capable of doing, and what it cannot do, and what's hype here. And then figure out, okay, I heard a bunch of things of what it can do. Now, how do I apply this into my career, or go back and do this in my job? Is kind of how I set it up here. Okay. So coming back, the definition of Agent AI is that it can automate LLMs. And that's large language models, that's the chatbots. And using the reasoning power of LLM. And the last piece of the definition of Agent AI is that it can use the reasoning power to make decisions like a human would do decisions. And if it is going to do a human-like decision, that means the human is not present. So it's very obvious that Agent AI should be doing things that humans are not present to do, meaning it is dangerous, meaning it is some odd time of the day that the human doesn't want to be, doing this, and they'll rather be sleeping, and things like that. So it could be in a rough terrain. It could be in a dangerous heat and power setting in a factory, or in a mine, or it could be if you want to provide customer service round the clock, is what people think of when they think about chatbots. But it is not just about automating your chatbot, keep talking to your customers, and you stop talking to the customers. What's the point of it? Because the customer does not want to talk to a chatbot. Your customer wants your product or service. They want their questions answered if they have any doubts in using the product or in purchasing the product, right? In the buyer experience before they buy the product, if they have questions, or in the support when they bought the product and they want questions about the usage, or about warranty or something else, right? Pre-purchase and intent, or post-purchase support, right? And the customer talking to you always has been a touch point by which businesses learn who's the customer, what is it that they want, is our product serving their need, how can we extend the product, what kind of things are the customers wanting us to do next, is the price we're providing for the customer right, are the customers belonging to a certain segment and profile so that we can give them customized services. Do we know enough information about this customer that we can give them personalized products and services? And are we serving them right? Are they happy with us? Are they unhappy with us? Are they complaining about us? Are they so happy that they are referring more customers, their friends and families, to come to grow our business? So this is the whole customer touch point life cycle. So I want you, if you're especially excited about Agent AI and this whole concept of automation, I want you to stop and think for a moment. Which part of this would you like to automate if you're doing this as a job? I want you to stop and tell me, like, is there a element in this customer touch point that you would like to automate, you're attempting to automate, your company's automating, or you have somebody asking you to automate? And the big question is, why are you doing this automation? What is the purpose of doing this? And so when you're saying Agent AI can automate LLMs, which are chatbots, using the reasoning power of LLM, I'm going to get to the reasoning power, round the clock, so that it is in dangerous situations, or round the clock when you don't need to be employed and you need to be catching a nap or sleeping, right? So it does not make sense to replace customer service professionals and saying, hey, they're going to be chatting with the customer, and they don't need to be chatting with the customer, because that's the joy of your job, that you get to talk to the customer, solve their problems, understand how to solve the problem from all the business knowledge that you have over the years. So that's not the purpose of Agent AI. Agent AI is not here to replace every job that has a customer touch point. If there is one thing that you get out of this session today, is Agent AI is not here to replace every job that has a customer touch point. Agent AI has the capability to automate the customer decisions that humans make using the power of LLM. Okay, so let's take a step back. I had actually had a conversation with Yashashwini in Weekly Wed, which is the speaker series that happens on Business School of AI on Wednesdays. And once in a while, I get to speak. Most of the time, I get to listen and learn from my students and speakers who are visiting. And we were talking about what is the reasoning power of LLM. So I want to bring one piece of that conversation to you. And before I give you that, I have a question for you. Everybody here who's especially interested in Agent AI has had a chat with ChatGPT or Gemini, an intelligent chatbot. So what is the difference between an intelligent chatbot or like a ChatGPT and an agent AI, which can automate the conversation with the chatbot? Can you guess what that difference would be? Do you have any guess? Do you want to tell me what that is? And I'm going to come back to LinkedIn and check whether you have questions for me or you have automated anything. Yeah? Okay. Let me go back to Business School of AI because this answer from my last comment was posted here from Ranin from my team. Okay, so let me come here, share my screen. I hope this is the right screen. Yeah, okay. So here is Business School of AI. This is a cute logo. Don't you like it? See? Okay, so this is my student community. So the question is, how is an intelligent agent AI different from intelligent chatbots, right? Not all chatbots are as smart as they seem. And so want to understand how real agent AI transforms automation beyond a basic chatbot, right? Here is a little snippet of the video I was telling you. So understanding context is a very important aspect of intelligent chatbots. Any kind of automation of AI is not agent AI. Just because it is running towards a reward, it's not reinforced learning, because reinforcement learning was just updating the same model towards a certain goal. All automation is not agent AI. It is reason-based. The LLM uses its reasoning power. It is not going to take the rule provided by a human and do an automation. Then it's not agent AI. And agent AI can be a single agent, which is talking to a LangChain or some kind of RAG system and does the automation based on reasoning. Or it can be multi-agents talking to each other and making decisions. Okay, so that is here in Business School of AI, and there's a little bit more video snippets from that session that I was telling you about. So I'm going to stop this share. So that summarizes what is not agent AI as compared to a chatbot. But there is one important basic distinction between a chatbot and an agent AI. A chatbot is based on LLM. Agent AI is based on one or more LLM. An agent AI product could be made based out of multiple agents. That's the point I was making in the video you saw. The agent AI could be made of multiple agents collaborating with each other. We had a session called meta agents where you could have one agent which is actually policing other agents and checking whether they are meeting the goals that you set for them as to what this agent AI system should be doing. And so on, right? But a chatbot talks to you, like ChatGPT talks to you, and when it makes a mistake, because its memory is going to have only what it has learned in its underlying model. So ChatGPT is based on GPT 3.5, right? And so whatever it has learned as GPT 3.5 is what it's going to remember. For example, I remember I launched my Gen AI book, Generative AI, a primer for product and business managers on Kindle, as a textbook for my Stanford AI class last April, not this 2023. And ChatGPT had launched just the previous November. So essentially, the knowledge in my book and the knowledge ChatGPT had are similar, right? Now, if I don't update my book and just leave it like that, then everything that you're going to see in that book is going to be dated, right? But as an author, I'm not going to do that, especially if it's going to serve as a textbook for my students. I'm going to update it, and I'm working on updating the book. That's why I'm confidently saying this. And I say, okay, when we were teaching this topic, Gemini had not launched. So when I listed a bunch of models, Gemini was not one of them. And I'm going to, bring that into that list. Agent AI did not exist. So in fact, I was talking to a chatbot recently. That sentence sounds so weird. I was talking to a chatbot recently and asked it about Agent AI. And I said, hey, I'm working on a new course on Agent AI. And what should be included in there? And the funny thing was, this was a chatbot, which is from past technology. It did not know what Agent AI was. It knew some little bit of what people are talking because it tried to go use some RAG system to go search the web and find something. But it did not have a real foundational knowledge of what is Agent AI. So on the surface, it gave me very good suggestions, right? I had a thought process of what I should include in the table of contents because I wanted to make a foundation course. And it was giving me, yes, tell them what is Agent AI, tell them what is not Agent AI, tell them about the reasoning power, because that's a given, right? But then when it comes to the crux of teaching what is Agent AI, what it should be doing, how will I teach you to build with Agent AI? What are the pieces of that technology or the multiple lessons under that I should be teaching? It had no clue. So it said, oh, then the person needs to learn foundational knowledge of machine learning, foundational concepts of natural language processing, which is waste of time. I mean, you could learn machine learning because you'll be doing fine tuning of LLM models and, making the chatbot have a certain tone and do things like that. But that's not necessary for Agent AI. To do Agent AI, you just need to know what is Agent AI. And now I'm going to tell you the components of building an Agent AI next. And I will get to reasoning because I promised to get you about reasoning. Okay, let me come back. Where are you? On LinkedIn, I'm coming back to the chat. I just wanted to make sure that I answered your questions. Okay, I'm going to reload my page. I hope it doesn't start talking back to me because it sometimes loses the audio mute. Okay, so I am not seeing questions yet. So if you're joining me live, I'm talking about Agent AI. I'm here to answer questions for you. So feel free to ask any questions relative to what you're trying to do with Agent AI. So 2 things I'm promising is help you understand foundationally what is Agent AI. If you're trying to build with Agent AI in your companies and running into issues, I'm happy to help you with that. And if you are seeing a lot of hype out there and you say, how is this different? Is this real or not, right? If you have questions about that, I'm happy to help you with that, right? But I'm just planning on teaching you the foundation components of Agent AI. So what we have covered so far is I have told you a definition of Agent AI. I have replayed past video of mine to show you, how an Agent AI can be compared with an intelligent chatbot like ChatGPT, and how it is not an intelligent chatbot. It is more than an intelligent chatbot because it does automation. We had a little discussion of what this automation is, what it should not be, how to think about that. This is what we've covered so far. So now coming to the actual Agent AI, building with Agent AI, right? So one example, and I told you, you should be thinking about Agent AI as being able to build using Agent AI in situations where you will be doing stuff that humans should not be doing, like it's dangerous, right? So it could be a factory setting, and it can be hot temperatures. And typically what you would do is you would have some kind of rule-based system saying if the temperature goes above a certain temperature, then turn on the sprinkler system, and you'll have an actuator that will turn on the sprinkler, right? But now it doesn't have to be a rule-based system, because this rule can fail in different situations. It could be a hot day outside. It could be a humid day when, temperature doesn't show as much, but it is not healthy environment, and you might have to change that environment setting. So you might want AI to monitor the environment using IoT sensors. Based on that, do some reasoning and figure out whether the actuator needs to be turned on, or whether a human needs to be notified, or there could be any number of actions. So this is an example where it's an unsafe setting where the human should not be sitting there and watching the temperature and the humidity and everything change. And then compare with weather pattern outside or historic data of when things have happened at this time of the year, at this time of the day, things like that, which an AI can easily do. That is the power of Agent AI, where humans have made decisions historically, but it's more nuanced. It is not just a rule-based system, and it is about combining with multiple historic data and reacting to an environment. And you want to do some kind of automation because it is good for humans. So you will think of it's good for business, but you should think whether it is good for humans. So that is an example of an agent AI. And in fact, I am going to be doing a podcast with Rob Van Kranenberg. Let me show you Rob's LinkedIn profile so you will know who I'm talking about. Let me go to LinkedIn and let me find Rob. Yeah, I know I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah, I'm just searching to find Rob's profile, and then I'm going to share. So here we go. Here is Rob. This is Rob Van Kranenberg, and he is actually a founder of IoT Council. It's a think tank, global think tank that runs IoT Day. And I host, along with the team, I host IoT Day Women once a year on April 9th. But Rob is the main leader who created this whole concept of IoT Day for us to understand about IoT in a very holistic sense. So I'm going to be doing a podcast with Rob on the 23rd. I believe it is at 11 o'clock. So if you follow me on Business School of AI, my student community, I will share the live stream link there. I'm going to stream it on LinkedIn, and I'll have a fun conversation. And this example I gave you about IoT sensors collecting information from a factory setting or mine or any kind of physical environment, and having an agent AI collect that information and say, okay, how do I act on this information? Like a human would do. How do I make decisions? What kind of other external data sources will I be combining with? Where can I find that information? And what is my goal? What am I trying to do? Right? Is how an agent would think about it. So my conversation with Rob is about agent AI. Agent AI for safety with IoT. So IoT can do a lot of things, it can do a lot of automations, but I'm focusing on the safety aspect using Agent AI in an IoT environment. So that's my talk on the 23rd. So if you're interested, if you're part of Business School of AI, I'll just share that. If you're getting my newsletter, of course, I'll put it out there also. Okay, so I want to pause. Is anybody working on example like I was saying, right, in a factory setting? So if you're thinking of building an agent AI, or you're asked to build an agent AI, or you're looking at examples that looks interesting to you, are you doing that in a setting like I was talking about? Again, you can do a thumbs up. You can do a thumbs down in LinkedIn, I believe. So if you are, you can tell me if that is something that you're working on. And I'm curious. Okay, while I wait for your answers, I want to show you something else. Like today, when I was actually moving around here in LA, like I said, you can see the hills behind me that I'm in LA. I found a very interesting thing. Let me show you. I'm going to get out of the recording and show you a screen. Okay, so do you see the screen of a bot? It's a delivery bot. It is called Saymo. It's SAYMO, like Waymo, the driverless self-driving car. So this is in LA, and it is a delivery bot. And I believe this was shown in a Netflix show. Again, I try not to promote anything that has nothing to do with me, so I'm not going to talk about it. But this was showcased for its emotions and stuff. And for my students who have worked, I mean, I love autonomous vehicles, so I could not stop, going and taking a picture of it. I didn't try to hug it. I just tried to take a picture. And my students who have worked with me in the past would remember that we worked with KiwiBot. And KiwiBot is an autonomous vehicle, similar looking, but a pioneer in this space. And it does food delivery. Now, I believe they've expanded the business model to do a lot more than food delivery. Okay, other than my excitement for autonomous vehicles, why am I showing that? So when I'm talking about sensors and actuators in the environment, like the conversation I'm going to have with Rob, there could be, if you just say collect the environment sensors and then send it to the cloud and automate something with AgentI, one of the things you have to think about is security. So that's what I'm going to talk about, because if somebody can have access to your environment and some automation is happening, how do you know that it is being done in a way that is privacy preserving, in a way it is safe for humans, in a way it is compliant to general laws about automation with AI? And that's the conversation where we will see. And autonomous vehicles, I was not showing you a self-driving car, I was showing you a tiny little food delivery bot, but it's the same technology in the autonomous vehicle. It does the same thing, right? It is driving around. It's been trained with data, driving around in the environment. This is a sidewalk robot, right? So it drives in the sidewalk, not on the roads. Driverless cars drive in the actual roads. And what it is doing is it's using computer vision. It has multiple cameras. It is collecting information. It's going on a sidewalk. So it will actually it can track potholes. It knows when it can climb up on something or not. And so it has a lot of sensor information that it is collecting. It has a LiDAR at the top. And it is making decisions to keep moving autonomously. So that was done in the past using computer vision, training the car cognition AI to run using computer vision by training with data, endless amount of data, and then for different terrains and for different weather conditions. So there are like 60 or so companies who have autonomous vehicle license capability in California, and they're driving around us all the time. In fact, recent times, I've been seeing some of them which are not even the known brands, but they look like homegrown cars with the LiDAR at the top. I don't know if the companies are doing this and they've not put their names, but I see Neuro or Waymo with their names. Zeus I've spotted recently. Again, if somebody is interested, this is a passion of mine. So if you're interested, I'm happy to share more of the recent autonomous vehicles that I've seen. I'll share it on Business School of AI. But I want to bring us back to AgentI, which you were talking about today. So the AI that was automated using the computer vision models, because it was trained using computer vision data, can do only so much, right? If it has to stop, and it has like a driver who can take over for level 4 cars. And our holy grail, we are going towards this level 5. We don't have it yet, right? Where that it can run without a human in all kinds of weather patterns. It can make decisions. And to get there, we need AgentI. So we can have AgentI in autonomous vehicles, making that decisions where the car says, oh, should I go this way or not? I'm seeing this funny cone in a construction zone. It gets confused. And a human would take over, steer, and continue, or will say, I don't know this new thing. It's an alien who's landed and we need to go away from them. But a human will make the decision. Now we can have an agent make the decision. And we don't know if the alien who lands is friendly alien or not. But example of automation in an autonomous vehicle to drive autonomously can be an AgentI decision. So I've given you one example in with IoT in a factory setting where it could potentially be unsafe and you have to turn on sprinklers and actuators. I showed you an autonomous vehicle, and I gave you the example with autonomous vehicle. Both involve physical sensors. So AgentI doesn't have to be with physical sensors. AgentI can automate any kind of workflow. Okay, so I want to ask you, let me close that window. I want to ask you, let me come back to LinkedIn to see whether you have questions for me. Okay, I have a question for you. So those of you who are here trying to watch this and understand the foundation of Agent AI, do you work in marketing? What industry do you work in? So you can add a comment. Even if you come back and watch this recording, because we will be sharing this recording, you can actually add a comment, because I like to come back and watch this in the weekend. For those of you who are not in my time zone, so you're not actually being able to follow up directly with me right now, I will come back and answer your questions. So if you're seeing this later and watch a recording, post your questions, tag a friend who will benefit from this topic. So we are talking about Agent AI Foundation. We had a discussion what the foundation of the foundational definition of Agent AI is. Agent AI is about automating AI, and AI is LLM. So it's about automating LLM, one or more LLMs, to use the reasoning power of LLMs, and to do that for situations where it is going to help humans, right? And it is not an intelligent chatbot. It is more than an intelligent chatbot. It can run on multiple LLMs. It can actually integrate with multiple other data sources. It will make decisions that a human would make in this unsafe situation when the human is not present. And you could have a meta agent who is actually going to police this and say, is this following the rules of safety that we have set? And is it going to do this in a way that it is helping us instead of automating for the sake of automating? So this is what we've covered so far. Now I'm going to get to the crux of what does it take to build an agent AI, or what is an agent AI system, which is different from any web-based system. And again, if you're working on Agent AI, if you have experience with it, I would like to hear from you. What industry are you working at? What aspect of Agent AI are you working at? Are you interested in? Even if you're not working, I see some numbers of people. I'm not seeing the comments. So if you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer that question. But I've just given you a definition of Agent AI, compared it with the chatbot, intelligent chatbot with ChatGPT. And one big thing is ChatGPT is not going to continue learning because it is based on a fixed foundation model. ChatGPT is based on GPT 3.5. So the way they make it learn is say, hey, let it do RAG, and here is a database of our customer information. Can it actually, add that to its knowledge and can into its learning, and can it get more current information? And if you think about it, an AI LLM is nothing but a neural network. So when we do fine tuning with the RAG database, we are actually like just changing the last layer of learning. So we can make the ChatGPT understand medical terminology if it is going to work for a hospital. If your intelligent chatbot is going to work for a wireless carrier, then the terminologies of what are the products, what are the kind of things the customer will ask about, you can put that into a data set, and you can fine tune the last layer. Or if you wanted to talk with a certain amount of certain tone and not act too funky, because it's going to build on the foundation model, which is got information from all over the internet. So it is not going to have the tone that you want with your customers. So if to understand your industry acumen or understand your foundation knowledge that you want for your industry, the tone that you want for your customers, you take a data set and then you do fine tuning of an existing ChatGPT or like intelligent models. And all of them are still in the realm of chatbots. What an agent AI is going to do is what we're going to talk next. Okay. So if you are watching live, I have a question for you. When I'm building an intelligent agent, from what I've told you so far, what do you think I need to get started? What are the tools I need? What are the technologies I need? I'm trying to get to what are the technologies that makes up an agent AI system? And so, what's your guess from what we spoke? And I just said the definition of agent AI is that it is doing automation of a large language model or LLM, and it is using the reasoning power of LLM. It is going to automate the things that are useful for humans. It's going to help humans. It's not going to create security hassles. It's going to be helpful for them. and it is going to make decisions using the reasoning power of LLM like a human would do in the absence of a human. That's the definition of agent AI. So now, given that, what do you think you need to build an agent AI system? So you're going to say, okay, she gave two examples. Both were like using IoT and sensors and autonomous vehicles. That's not exactly my area of work. Maybe it is, because I have students who have taken my autonomous vehicle class and love AVs as much as me. But maybe you're working in marketing and you want to create personalization for your customers. Or you're working in enterprise and you want to create, some kind of workflow. You want to automate a workflow. So all those is also possible, right? It doesn't need a physical sensor from an environment. It can automate a workflow. It can use the reasoning power to say, is this what the human would want? What is their goal? And how should I make this decision, right? And it will move forward, right? And that is what an agent AI would do in a non-factory setting, right? So coming back, what do you need to build an agent AI like that? So if you want agent AI to automate an environment, not a physical environment, but to automate, say you have lots of customers and you're trying to figure out which customers am I going to use as my new customer segment to launch this new product. Maybe you have an existing product, now you want to expand to new products. You want to go to new geographies. What would you do typically in the past is you would connect a lot of different data sources and run some integration, draw some insights, have people sit and review it and say, this will work, no, it won't work, I've seen this not work in the past. And you'll have people with fresh perspective and say, let's take a new approach. And so you have like a workflow and a team and discussion to make decisions, multiple step, and then do A/B testing and say, let's test this. We want to go to a new market, and should this be Lagos? Let me try that. And then you get data to kind of, have the humans review again and say, I thought this would be a good market, and here's what the numbers are saying. Now let me scale this. I remember I used to work in mobile analytics at eBay. We used to do A/B testing of every feature of what you see in the mobile app. And we would say, okay, we're going to send this new experience to 5% of the customers. And then we'll collect the data and we'll say, this is what we thought the customer will go through this click and move this way, but the customer is moving this other way. Why do you think that's happening? Is this distracting them? Is this what they want? Has their intent changed? And we are not understanding this. And we will have multiple people of different roles together, put our brains together and try to understand the insights that data is saying. And then we will decide what is the next step towards that. In fact, one of the interesting comments that I added on LinkedIn was, there was a question, I think there are these articles called collaborative articles. I have to look that up. And if you're interested, send me a thumbs up or some comment here, and I will add that here. I will post it on Business School of AI. I have to find that link. So I posted a perspective on a collaborative article about this topic on when multiple stakeholders in a company do not agree on what the insights from data is. So data can tell many stories, and there might be a business owner, there might be a product owner, there might be a finance person, there might be people from different regions with different goals and perspective, and they're not agreeing on what the insights from data is. This happens in companies all the time. Anyway, my point was, it's not just about setting goals. Data can tell many stories. How do you actually figure out what is the common metric? What is like a common definition of a metric that it's going to help your business? And you agree across multiple stakeholders, and then look at that metric and say, now we want the metric to move in a certain direction, and within a certain period, what can we do to solve? What kind of things can we do in the company to solve for that? And you can agree on it. So it's kind of my perspective. That's what I shared. So this happens all the time in companies. So when you're trying to say, I'm going to launch to a new product in a new market, and I want to target this segment, I want to target this geo, let's test it out in this A/B test it. Here we got the data. Now, does that make sense? No, we are seeing this other insight from the data. Now, how do we move this forward? Those are human decisions, human discussions. So what can happen with Agent AI is you can actually automate this to make the LLM use the reasoning power to actually say, okay, this makes sense, and we need to kind of go with this A/B testing. Now we to scale from 5% to 10%. What we had done is we would scale from 5% to 10% to 30%, 50% till we agree that it makes sense, and we will, towards, say, the metric is revenue growth within 3 months. And then, or we want customer engagement to be some metric, right? Some customer engagement might be time spent on the site, and we want that to be 7 seconds instead of 3 seconds. So we will agree towards that goal, and then we'll optimize everything else to achieve that. So we could do that, but we could make the agent AI say, okay, A/B test this and change other variables and arrive at that goal and make the decisions towards that. So that's an example of another agent AI automation. So my question to you, I gave you a third example now of an agent AI in an enterprise trying to understand customer segment to launch to a new market. Now, my question to you is, given what I told you as a definition of agent AI, and I gave you 3 examples, what do you need if you're going to automate something like a customer segmentation decision in a company, and you're going to, talk to your fellow teammates and say, hey, we need to do this thing. This looks like agent AI can solve this. Let's test it out and let's do a pilot. What is the starting point? What do you need to get started? So I'm coming back to check your comments or questions. Let's see. Yes, the first thing you need to build an agent AI is an LLM. You might need more than one LLM. You need a LLM because agent AI is about automating the LLM. So you need a LLM. And there are many LLMs, open source, closed source, various different, general purpose LLMs like GPTs or Gemini, Vertex AI. There's a whole bunch of open source models like Mistral. There's a whole bunch of models that are small models that are doing specific things. So the starting point is to, arrive at pick a model, right? That you need a LLM. So that's the first step. What's the next thing you need? It's going to make a decision using, it's not just going to use the LLM, right? In these examples I gave, what is the other thing I was saying? You can talk to the weather data. You can look at road data. You can look at the weather data in the, what's the climate and the weather in the factory setting example I was giving, or in autonomous vehicles, it could be road data. Again, weather might also be a factor. In the chatbot examples, you could have customer behavior data. In the segmentation, you might have market data, right? So there could be external data sources. And I did tell you, if you're just building a chatbot to do this, you would, fine tune using RAG from an external data source, but it could be anything. So the agent AI has to decide, what data do I need, and go fetch the data. So to do that, instead of saying, here is data, what we would do is we would actually give it some tools, and we'll say, hey, can you go search in the internet and do a web search and find this information? Are there public data sources from where you can find this information? So there could be tools that the agent AI would use, right? The LLM by itself is not going to run a job. The LLM is a chatbot or a chatbot interface capable of doing a recall from its memory and having a conversation with you. It is not able to run a job. It doesn't have a processing power to run a job like a computer. So you need it to have some tools that can run a job. So the first thing is an LLM. The second thing is some kind of tool that can run a computer job, right? That's the second thing. A simple example of a tool is a web search. And or you might want it to do facial recognition. You want it to do pattern matching with something from the past. All of those are tools, right? And what's the third thing you need? So now you have an LLM. Now you have given it some tools. And I'm still giving you the foundation of agent AI. If you do something more complex, you could actually have agents that can go build tools or modify tools and expand it. So there's the tool ecosystem is a huge area. So if you're thinking about getting into agent AI after this course, after this masterclass with me, if you're understanding the foundation, you could go understand the LLMs. You could understand the tools ecosystem that's evolving. It could be single store, it could be multimodal tools, it could be, agent AI creating its own tools. There are, various different things evolving in the tool space. And then the the next thing is, I've been saying reasoning power of LLM. So the LLM is going to make some reasoning and saying, oh, this is, so the reasoning power is, I've done a whole session on Weekly Red about what is the reasoning power of LLM. So I'm not going to go take too much time on it. So if you want at Weekly Red and Business School of AI, you can actually find that. So I would recommend go look at that. But in a simple definition of reasoning of LLM is to make decisions like a human would think. And there are different ways of how you can think about it, how you can actually design the whole, the reasoning power of LLMs. That's a whole evolving area. So if you're already into Agent AI, the new area where this is expanding and changing every day is how do you teach reasoning? And there's a new model called Strawberry that is coming from OpenAI, which is promising how ChatGPT's foundation model is going to change, and it is going to have the reasoning power, and they're going to create a reasoning. Google's Vertex AI already has reasoning. They've been saying that for a long time, and it does reasoning a certain way. NVIDIA has come with their own method of how LLMs can do reasoning, and the different design approaches of how you'll design it for doing reasoning and reflection. So the reasoning is the third piece. To do reasoning, it's basically making decisions like a human. All of us don't think about our decision-making process the same way. So the agents can be designed to make decisions the way you want it. And again, like every other job in the AI world, it is not one person's job. It is not about coding and building, baking it. It might be coding is needed in the end to build something, but that a person who's a data scientist or coder cannot just go build out whole agents, because the agents have to do something. A business use case has to be developed, and then you have to identify all kinds of tools and data sources that you have to give it. Figure out what the metrics of success are, how you're going to guide the agent towards reasoning, what kind of reasoning approach are you going to build. And then the final piece is the interesting thing, where people who are saying AI is using Agent AI, and Agent AI is going to take towards AGI, and the excited people who are thinking that it will develop some kind of cognition. It's not true cognition, but it will make decisions by a process called reflection. So that's the fourth piece of an Agent AI system. Agent AI system, they call it an Agent AI ecosystem. So ecosystem is not just a bunch of companies in that space. It is basically the components that come together to build an Agent AI product or system. You need an LLM, you need tools, you need reasoning and reasoning tools, essentially reasoning technologies or approaches or frameworks. And then you have reflection. So the Agent AI says, oh, this is how I want to reach this goal, but I'm going in the opposite direction. Say for the segmentation, we want to reach customers in a certain segment so that you can launch a product. And what's the point of launching a product? You want customers to use the product. So you might have a metrics of reaching a certain revenue goal in that market. And the Agent AI says, this is going the opposite. Customers are churning. I'm supposed to keep churn low and revenue high, but that's not the way it's going. And it does some reflection and says, now my approach is wrong. Let me shuffle this thinking. Let me test this new approach. And then it does it till it gets to the goal that you want, or it might escalate and say, human in the loop, and I want you to look at this. I'm not able to handle this. So you can design it that way to bring the human in the loop. You can design it for it to iterate till it reaches a goal that you set, like reduce the churn, keep this churn metric at this number, revenue at that number. You could do that, but that's the fourth component. So you choose an LLM, you choose whatever tools you need, you choose the different reflection approaches, the reasoning approaches, and the reflection approaches. And one of the famous reflection approaches, self-reflection. I mean, the word choice of these makes it look like, like a human. So it kind of anthropomorphizes Agent AI as if it is a person, because finally, when you interact with the chatbot, it has a name and it has a tone. It has been fine-tuned to give you the tone. It seems to have a personality. So it's important to understand you are designing this personality with a certain tone and a reasoning power to achieve a certain business goal. And the whole purpose of Agent AI is to do something that helps you humans in their absence, in situations that's unsafe for them, and to do this such that it uses the reasoning power of LLM and does reflection the way you have defined a reflection towards the goals that are metrics that you have defined. And when I say you, there are several job roles that comes together. So there are product managers, there are data scientists, there are data data owners, there are data engineers, there are different country managers, there are compliance people, there are a lot of AI ethicists. And if you're looking at language models, then there might be a whole bunch of linguists who are coming in and say the agent is using LLM, but this and the LLM doesn't understand this language. That is important for the customer. So how are we going to make it do machine translation? So there might be various different dimensions of looking at this and different roles that comes together. So that is my hope. I hope you found this useful, that you're able to, use this. And especially if you're interested in Agent AI, one of the things I had put out was a landing page for Agent AI for you to understand more about Agent AI or get some learning resources. I had shared that in Weekly Wednesday. I believe it should be in Business School of AI. Otherwise, what I will do is I'll come back and post a link for that landing page. So you can just, if you want to sign up, we can send you more information just about Agent AI, because I have a newsletter that has jobs and events and everything else that I share. So to wrap up, I told you definition of Agent AI. I gave you 3 examples, one in factory setting using actuators, IoT, and I'm going to have an IoT, an Agent AI session with Rob Van Kranenberg on September 23rd. Morning, I believe it is at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then I also told you the other example with autonomous vehicles. And instead of just computer vision, how do you automate using the human-like decisions using Agent AI as an example. And the third example was software, data, not involving IoT and sensors. And I gave you an example of choosing customer segmentation, segment of customers to launch to a new market, and how do you set goals and how do you get the agent to make decisions. And then the second part of our discussion, we talked about 4 different components of what makes an Agent AI system. It's called an Agent AI ecosystem. You choose an LLM, you choose tools, you make the reasoning approach of the LLM and the reflection approach of the LLM, of the agent. And it could be a single agent, multiple agents, it could be a meta agent policing other agents towards the goal. But the business goal of whether it is keeping the customer churn at a certain level, you're keeping your GMV or customer revenue at a certain level, those are business goals you set. So you have a role to play, whatever your job role, to say, what kind of things do I want to automate? Why am I doing this? What workflow am I automating? How is it going to give me ROI? How do I test this? How do I pilot this? What do I need? And you might have a whole ecosystem of players, but they may not talk to each other. So you can't just pick a LLM and a tool. You have to think about, does it integrate into my cloud, which happens to be of a certain platform? So that's where your build versus buy acumen comes in. So there's a lot of different job roles involved in here. So I'm happy to share the landing page I shared about Agent AI if you want to just get follow-up resources. But ask me, what do you want to learn about? I can send you resources. I'm working on a LinkedIn course on Agent AI that is going to launch in the future. It's not yet done. I had finished the recording. So I want to share my thanks to everybody from the LinkedIn team who helped me with this. Let me see, I can find that image. Let me see. Because I just wrapped up the recording from LinkedIn and it was such a fun exercise. Yes, this is the one. Okay, I'm coming back to share my screen. I'll come back and check whether you guys have question in a minute. Where is my screen where I have this image? Okay. I'll find it. I'll come back, guys, 1 second. I think I had it open. So basically, I've wrapped up my LinkedIn course on Agent AI. I have wrapped up, meaning I finished the recording, right? I go write the script and work with my producer to do the LinkedIn course. And we recorded it. Let me come back to Zoom, share my screen. Here it is. I was just showing you my picture. I was so happy. That is my producer, Minion. Thank you so much, Minion, for helping me. We had a director who helped us. And this was when I was doing the the studio recording. So thank you guys. So I finished the recording on the LinkedIn course on Agent AI, and then there's a whole post-production work that happens. And this is an amazing team from LinkedIn Learning who build out courses. So they have like a process on taking all of my script and recording and everything and giving like a 1-hour course. So that will come out. So if you want me to notify you when that course is live, you can just follow me on LinkedIn, of course, but I don't know, you cannot get all my notifications because I share a lot of things. So specifically, if you want to know when this Agent AI course launches, I'm happy to let you know. And I've been doing a bunch of Agent AI related topics, like my upcoming podcast on the 23rd. I'm planning a just foundation course like we were talking today for you to build Agent AI, just to understand the foundation pieces. I just told you that it has LLM tools, reasoning, and reflection. But what does that mean? How do you put this together for a use case? So I'm planning a course on Business School of AI so that it will be a nice complement to my LinkedIn course when it comes. So if you're interested in learning Agent AI, working with Agent AI for real, then I'm happy to give you resources. So I will share the landing page for that. And I promise that I have a bunch of jobs that I'm going to share. So I'm just going to share my screen and tell you what those are, because these are ones I can obviously see my students can use it. It's a given. So there is a Director, Chief of Staff, AI and Data. It's a very funky looking title, but it's a hybrid job. So I thought, and it's a MasterCard that looks very, very interesting. I can see many of my students are able to do this job. So I just thought I should share this because it's an enterprise AI and data function will set the vision for AI and data at Masterclass. And this is something that I know many of my students have been working on, they are capable of doing. So that's very interesting. Then there is this other job that also is a director job. This is at Google, it's Director Product Management, Adversarial Abuse. So this is something that we have covered about security and thinking about adversarial attacks and stuff. So this is experience in machine learning systems, general, quality of ads and recommendations and stuff like that. But this is more a trust and safety team job, I believe. So this will be interesting, especially if you're going to join my podcast with Rob Van Cranenberg on the 23rd. This might be an interesting job. I'm happy to come bring this back for you. I'll share this also in the newsletter. What else do I have? I told you about Rob and the event I'm doing. I told you about this job. I've told you about the other job. Oh, there's a third job I have for you. Before I go, it's a leadership associate program called VLA for new college grads. It's a rotation program at Visa. Looks like a very good one. And that is something that you should try and see whether it's a fit for you. Like you do jobs in different roles within Visa in rotation and figure out what's the right fit for you. It's a good thing for a new college grad because you might want to try out different roles because you don't know what's the exact one that's your fit and will be passion for you to build your career out. I always say this to my students, we talk about autonomous vehicles and IoT and AI and Gen AI. And, now I have this course on Agent AI. It's about what is feeling like passionate for you. Just because everybody's talking about Agent AI doesn't mean you have to do Agent AI. Think about the way I will tell you to think about this is you have a certain experience and approach of how you've been building your business acumen over the years for people with experience, right? Think about, okay, your industry, is there something that from what you're hearing from me, is there something that you can, your industry can benefit from in solving a problem? Or is there something that you know passionately is a problem that you want to solve? You attempted it in previous jobs, didn't get buy-in, was not feasible with the existing technologies from the past. Maybe you can do that with Agent AI. So that's worth exploring. Or you just want to solve a problem. It has nothing to do your industry or your functional area of work. It is just something you're passionate about. I once had a student in my AV class who came in and said, if it is true that autonomous vehicles are going to come, and they have come more than they were when I was teaching this class in when I started teaching this in 2017, the autonomous vehicle course at Stanford, he was asking, I want to make sure that my kid goes to school in bikes, and similar kids are going to be in bikes, and bikes are going to share the road with cars. And when the cars become autonomous, how can the biker communicate with the car? I want it to be safe for the bikes. We actually did an exercise and said, you can build a hardware, you can build a software, you can build an AI, you can actually build some kind of IoT, and there's several approaches of solving this problem. So the best way to think about is to think about the problem you want to solve and what is the right approach that works for you. If you're a software person, cloud person, data person, backend person, or if you are a designer and if you are a compliance person, if based on where you're coming from, you will solve a problem very differently compared to the other person who comes from a different background. So that's how I would say, when you're hearing about agent AI and the definition of agent AI, in my classes, that's what I would do. So I will share the template at Business School of AI on LinkedIn. And if that's of interest, you can follow up. And I'm putting together a course on Agent AI to teach you the foundation to go build something, to figure out how to develop the use cases so that you can go apply that. And with the capstone project, my typical courses on Business School of AI are like 5 weeks, 2 hours class live online with me. And I will invite some guests and co-instructors. I'll bring people from industry so that you can get to the reality of that. So that's something that I'm planning. And then my LinkedIn course will come. That'll give you a solid foundation with a certificate. You will do a couple of hands-on exercises with no-code tools, or this time I also have an option of an API tool if somebody wants to go that direction. And so that will kind of like wrap it up for you. So that's where we are going. So if this is of interest, follow up, and simply just don't follow me on LinkedIn, because I see people following me and I don't know who you are. I just see numbers going up. That's great. It's flattering, but I want to serve you. I'm here to help you make your career transition to the latest of technologies, which happens to be Agent AI. But my goal is to make you have a very fulfilling career as an innovator and bring this new technology to solve a problem in your industry, in your functional area, in your society, in your local community, whatever makes sense for you. But to make that connection, how to connect the dots between what is the business experience that you bring, what kind of knowledge you already have, and how do you translate this to this new thing, how to understand the new technologies, and how to actually build something for real, how to build and test, how to collaborate with all the different roles that are coming together to do this in industry. Right now, the last point I want to make is, the question I asked is, do you see Agent AI as a hype or not? There's a lot of hype out there, but Agent AI is not all hype. And so as you work with multiple people, go hands-on, even if you're not even thinking of a job change, even if you're thinking, oh, I don't know coding, this is not, I'm not quite there. It doesn't matter. If you can put your thinking hat and say, from what I'm hearing of Sudha's talk about Agent AI and the components and how to, what it can do and what it cannot do, maybe it can solve this problem. Jump in and see whether you can build out a capstone with me. Then it will take you somewhere where you will have contributed to this. Maybe it can lead to a different career approach. Maybe, it will make your job interesting. But the idea is, by getting in now, you're going to help shape this ecosystem, because a lot of technologies that you're hearing in Agent AI, and the reason why it's hype is because what is possible is being made up, and by a small set of people. And a small set of people are coding and creating technology stack, more and more technology stack to create the tools, to create data stores, to create the memory stores, to create the reflection methods, the reasoning methods. All of those are pieces of technology which is kind of fragmented. And so new people, developers are coming and saying, I'm creating layers to, connect these together. It's like if you're doing a web development, you want to create a website, you'll have like a full stack, right, for a framework to create the entire web stack, or like a mobile stack. And that doesn't exist for Agent AI, because people like you who can solve for real business problem, who are holding the business problem, who are holding the data that has a solution of the business problem, are not in the game. So you need to come in, help shape this so that it can get to, to some place. So I believe as a technology futurist, a real business can stay, and real exponential technology can scale and become something useful only when you come in and solve a real business problem with it. Otherwise, it's hype. So that's my how my litmus test, I should say. If you see it's a hype, check it out and say, can this solve a real problem for an industry or a business function or from society? Does it make sense? It's good to have imagination and make things up, but can this be built? Let me jump in, and I have the business acumen, and let me go do this. And then you see if it is hype, then you go past it. And if you jump in and say whether it can solve this problem for me, then you help shape it and to get to ship the ecosystem with the next pieces of tool, the next set of integration, so that it can actually solve a real problem. And then Agent AI becomes real for your industry. Right now, it's not there in all industries because it's calling you to jump in and come change this, go build something with it. And then before I close out, I wanted to share one more interesting event that is happening, I believe, in Princeton. Let me bring that up for you. Because one of the parallel things that is happening in the AI world is, no, I don't need jobs. I shared the jobs already with you, right? So what I need to do is I want to find my saved items. Yes, I know, guys, I'm not sharing my screen because I just don't want to see you just me searching for stuff. Okay, so here I'm going to share the screen. So this is Professor Vukosi Marivate, and he is a force. And he is one of the brains behind the deep learning Indaba that happened, bringing together a bunch of African countries together. So he's speaking at Princeton on the 19th about a new agenda for African languages, AI, everything, everywhere, all at once. And so if you're thinking about languages, that's my other project with Global South and AI. There's a lot that needs to happen with machine translation for various languages. So there's a lot of technologies that is evolving in that space. So that's an interesting event. There's a few more events I see bubbling up. I will be sharing that in the newsletter. So let me just check one last time whether you have a question for me that I'm missing. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off based on that. Okay, I see a lot of you are reacted on and answered questions, and just done your thumbs up and all that stuff. Yes, I see intriguing topics. Looking forward to getting insights on practical applications of Agent AI. So thank you for that comment. Tomek, I hope the examples I gave you resonated with you. If I'm missing something for your specific industry or something you're trying to do, add a comment. Like I promised, after Sudha Live, I usually come and check in the weekend. And Monday in my newsletter, I will give you the answer if the questions was not answered here. And I see Edith saying congratulations on my new topic here. Thank you, Edith. I appreciate it. And a lot of you have done likes and comments, so I appreciate that, guys. So this is a brand new area. Like I said, things are changing and a lot more technologies are happening, and you hear the business ideas as just far-sighted ideas and not from the real product managers, business leaders, from people who are data owners, from compliance people who are actually building something for real in industry. So I need you to come in and look at it and demand applications, demand automations that make sense for you, that is good for humans, that makes business sense for you. So I look forward to your comments, questions, and with that, I'm going to close out. Thank you, everybody. And the Sudha Live recording will be shared by Ranian from my team. So if you follow Business School of AI, you'll get this recording. I will answer your questions if I missed anything. If you come and add a comment here, what else did I promise? And the jobs and the links that I shared also we will share in the newsletter. So, and I promised the template for the landing page. I said where you can get more information about when my Agent AI courses launch, either on Business School of AI or on LinkedIn. I'm happy to share that. So if you're interested in just learning resources related to Agent AI, you can sign up. I'll share the template here in the comment below. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for hanging around with me. It has become dark already. Sun is set. So I'm going to wrap up. Stay safe. Have a fabulous weekend. and I will see you online. And for those of you who are my new students, especially from LinkedIn or from any of my past courses from Barcelona or from Stanford or Business School of AI, I'm happy to continue our conversation and help you on your learning journey. And I will see you at Weekly Med Online, or I will see you online at Business School of AI. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. I'm going to stop the recording. Bye, everyone. Okay. Stop this live stream, and tag your friends, especially if you're going to come back, watch this, and you have questions. I want different roles to come and tell me what kind of things you're trying to do. And if you hear my examples and say it doesn't make sense, I would like to hear from you too, because we are together. We are going to build something useful that will help humanity with Agent AI.